The steam engine, for its type, is one of the most versatile things on land. And the diesel engines are the power behind the mixed traffic goods and specials that go all around the island of Soda. This is NWR Stories. Oldies but Goldies. Stepney, the Bluebell engine, was enjoying his visit on the island of Soda. It had been so long since his last visit, and he was just happy to be back. He had missed its scenery, its people, and most of all, he missed his friends. Because ever since he was rescued and ever since he was sent to the island during the 1960s, the Soda engines had been nothing but welcoming, and it was good to see engines who were still in service. It is safe to say that Stepney will forever be a welcome member on the island. It was a busy Monday morning on the island of Soda, and the most busiest place, of course, was Stepney Station. It is the main terminus of the island. This is where people come to enjoy the island scenery or just leave for the holiday. But since it was the end of the holiday season, most people were heading home.
Totally dreadful. Totally dreadful indeed, said Daisy, rolling in a fuss.
What's wrong with you? Said Bear curiously.
Oh, it's these dreadful passengers and their children. They're messing up my seats and they're disturbing my balance. An engine of my caliber needs peace and quiet if they're going to run properly.
Well, that's one of the downsides of being a engine, Daisy. You have to put up with things like this, especially one that does not carry coaches, said Thomas.
You simply do not understand, Thomas. You never did.
said Daisy, disappointed. The atmosphere was soon broken when Stepney popped into the yard. Good morning, all. How are you all doing today? Said Stepney. Well, we are fine. Well, except Daisy, said Bear. Yes, she's in another one of her fits, unfortunately, said Thomas cheekily. Daisy just sat in her platform quiet. Well, I'm glad to see some of you are okay. And Daisy, I hope you feel better. But anyway, I came here to get a coach or coaches for a train that I need to be taking on the branch line. But there are really none available. I tried taking these next to me, but they're booked for a train that James is supposed to be taking within the hour. Do you know where I can find any more? On the top of my head, no. But I would say you can check the sidings by the shed. There's always a spare coach lying around somewhere. Yes, and make sure to take part in all the passenger festivities. I know it won't disrupt your balance, said Thomas cheekily.
Oh, I have had it.
And with a toot of her horn, Daisy rolled out of the station. You know, I can never get a bead on her. Not at all, said Bear. All right, well, I'm going to go find this coach, and I will see you guys later. Have fun. And with a toot of his whistle, Stepney puffed down the line. Stepney soon arrived in the yards next to the sheds, and as soon as he rounded a bend, he saw a coach. Ah, here we go. I finally found one. This coach turned out to be a very special coach. It was none other than Old Slow Coach herself. Hello. I don't think I've seen you before. Who are you? Said Stepney, approaching the coach. Old Slow Coach looked up and smiled. Hi. My name is Old Slow Coach, or that is the name the railway men have given me. And I know who you are. You're Stepney, the Bluebell engine. Stepney was surprised. He didn't think the coach knew who he was at all. How do you know me? Said Stepney. So, shortly after you visited the island in the 1960s, I was rescued by the Fat Controller and brought to the railway to work on the Little Western branch. And in the scrapyard I was in, I heard the engines talking about you. They were all hoping to be rescued by people who rescued you. And lo and behold, they did, and so was I. So you're quite a hero among engines, said Old Soul Coach. Well, I'm glad that my story inspired others. But I'm going to need you for a duty that I was given today. Do you mind if I take you out? Yes, indeed. I have been sitting here for quite a while, so yes, I would like to go. Soon Stepney was turned around on the turntable and buffered up to Old Slow Coach. All right, ma'am, let's go. And with a toot of his whistle, Stepney rolled away. Stepney and Old Slow Coach began their journey in a smooth manner. Stepney was gentle in a sense due to the fact that he is very careful with coaches. And Old Slow Coach appreciated this about the Bluebell engine, which made the day very easy for the two. Not to mention, they were both on time for all of their stops. But overall, it was a good day. Soon they reached their final destination, and Stepney was tired. The last passenger left the station, and soon, with a toot of his whistle, Stepney set off for the yards. After dropping off the last passengers, Stepney gently shunted Old Slow Coach back into the siding. I enjoyed our day out today. I can't wait to work with you tomorrow, said Stepney. Me too. I can't wait as well, said Old Slow Coach with a soft voice. And with the toot of his whistle, Stepney left for the sheds. The next day, Stepney was taking on water when the Fat Controller, Richard Hatt, stepped up to him. Now, I have a special job for you today, Stepney, and I hope you are willing to go through with it. Yes, sir. Anything, sir, said Stepney. So, I am picking up an old friend of mine, and I'm going to show him around the railway. He's a very important friend, too. So, I would do appreciate if you would take the train today. Oh, yes, sir. Please, sir. I'll go fetch Old Slow Coach right away. Thank you, Stepney. And the Fat Controller walked away. After talking with the Fat Controller, Stepney went to the yard to collect Old Slow Coach. He was excited. What's going on, Stepney? You seem very excited, said Old Slow Coach curiously. We've been given a special task by the Fat Controller, so we must not keep him waiting. And with a toot of his whistle, Stepney raced away with Old Slow Coach. Soon he arrived at the station, where the Fat Controller was waiting on him with a special visitor. There she is, all ready for the run today. I hope so. She looks splendid.
Now, I didn't tell them that you're actually the inspector and you're inspecting her for an overhaul. So, beware if they do not know.
Oh, definitely understandable. Alright, let's hop in. The two gentlemen were aboard, and Stepney pulled away with Old Slow Coach. They weren't far from the station when it started happening. A clank was heard, and Old Slow Coach fell in pain.
Ooh, ooh,
yelled Old Slow Coach. What's wrong? Said Stepney, concerned.
nothing, just my axle. I forgot to mention this, but before yesterday I haven't moved in a year or so I'm a bit rusty. Well, we're almost done with our run, so we'll expect you when we're finished.
With this information that Stepney had got from Old Slow Coach, he continued to be careful along his line, while showing great care to the old coach. Soon, they came across the new bridge that was recently built. He gently took Old Slow Coach over it, making sure she was comfortable. Once again showing care to the old coach. But Old Slow Coach still felt bad because she did not feel like she was performing up to standard. They arrived to the station and stopped in spectacular fashion.
I hope I didn't cause any discomfort to the Fat Controller and his friend. Oh, I feel like such a disappointment, said Old Slow Coach.
No, don't be like that. It's okay. I'm old as well, and I have my issues too, but that does not make me any less useful, and that goes for you as well, said Stepney, being understanding.
Oh, I bet you always say that to the old coaches, don't you? Said Old Slow Coach.
No, I do not. But I have a question.
Ask away.
Is your name actually Old Slow Coach, or do you have a new name? Or do you have a actual name, said Stepney.
Well, my name is Margaret, but no one hasn't called me that in years.
The two gentlemen stepped outside the coach, and Stepney was nervous because the Fat Controller was staring at him. But soon his mood changed after hearing the men talk. So, what do you think, brother? Said Richard Hat to his brother. Well, I say she's due for some repairs. I tell you what, take her down to Crovan's Gate and I'll have the men look at her and she'll be spick and span.
What's going on? Asked Stepney.
Well, Stepney, my brother is one of the head engineers at Crovan's Gate, and he always wondered about Old Slow Coach and whether can she be repaired. But since I see what he did to the new engine that's going to be arriving tomorrow, I think he can do the same for Old Slow Coach.
New engine?
I never heard anything about a new engine. Soon, Old Slow Coach was good as new, and she was ready to be taken out by engines again. It was no surprise, however, that after she was repaired, she was sent to the Little Western to work with Duck, Oliver, Donald, and Douglas. The Little Western crew were also glad to have another piece of Great Western history on their line, and they had so many adventures together. But that's a story for another time.